All right, 24 hours ago, I recorded a video about Ukraine, and I thought that things were stable enough that my video would remain current and up to date for at least a few days. That is not the case. There's some pretty big developments today. So, Vladimir Putin announced his intentions for Russia to recognize the People's Republics of Donetsk and Luhansk as independent countries. This was actually submitted to the Russian parliament. Most of the media reports I've seen are reporting it as if Putin just declared it unilaterally and that's that. I don't know if the Russian parliament has actually voted on it yet, but Putin's United Russia Party controls over 70% of the parliament, so a huge majority. PBS, which is a taxpayer subsidized propaganda station of the United States government, is already reporting that uniformed Russian troops are pouring across the border into the People's Republics. Now, I can't find any other major media outlets that are reporting this. And the source I would trust the most on this is liveuamaps.com. And they are only saying that there are allegations from people on the ground that some uniformed Russian troops have come across the border. Now, there's been allegations all along that there's secret Russian troops in there, like little green men, etc., but not open uniform troops. Here's the thing. So the Biden administration and the Putin administration are going to have high-level talks on February 24th in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, the Biden administration says this is contingent on Russia not invading Ukraine, but they've already made more concessions. The Biden administration now says that uniformed Russian troops in the so-called People's Republics does not constitute an invasion of Ukraine. So to recap from what I talked about in the last video, Biden has actually conceded a lot now. So Biden says that the United States will not respond militarily, even if Russia takes the capital of Ukraine and occupies the whole country, which Biden says they're planning to. He said that again today. Biden says that major sanctions will not be triggered until such time that Russia actually invades. And now he says that uniformed Russian troops in Donetsk and Luhansk does not constitute an actual invasion. Now, instead, the Biden administration says that they are enacting targeted sanctions in response to Russia recognizing the People's Republics. Targeted, I think, means basically meaningless, because what I'm seeing in the media sounds exactly like the sanctions that have already been in place for years and years. They're simply saying that America will punish companies that do business inside Donetsk and Luhansk, which has already been the norm for quite a while now. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how the leaders of the People's Republics were alleging that they were under attack by the Ukrainian military and that they were calling for women, children, and the elderly, everyone except for men aged 18 to 55, to evacuate to Russia. And I suggested that this could be disingenuous. Today, I think it is disingenuous. Now, I have no way of confirming anything that's going on in the People's Republics. It's basically a black hole that no one knows what's going on there. However, given the fact that Putin did this today, it just seems very likely that Russia pulled the trigger on this, that Russia told them to call for these evacuations and perpetrate that things were really bad. And today, the authorities in the People's Republics, they keep upping the ante. So now they say that there's all kinds of saboteurs trying to blow things up, and it's got to be Ukrainian and American special forces, etc., running around. If the Ukrainian military is really being as mean to them as they claim, Russia should document this and provide the world with firm proof. We'll see what happens. So Putin held a press conference today, which was, orchestrated political theater, where he had members of his administration, where he tells them to, well, what about this and what about that, and they make statements. And it was kind of weird because Putin actually looks really bored and tired. I mean, maybe the guy is just super exhausted, but he looked like he would have much rather been taking a nap on his couch during this whole thing. Now, Putin also made a public statement, and I don't speak Russian, so I have to go by what media outlets that I don't trust say Putin said. But as far as I can tell, Putin engaged in some pretty incredible hyperbole. Essentially, Putin said that Ukraine is not a real nation. It's a creation of Joseph Stalin, which is struck me as being a lot like hardliners in Israel when they make claims that Palestine was never a thing but a modern invention. That's just what we call gaslighting. So Ukraine is a historical entity. I mean, that's just wild hyperbole. Now, I didn't talk about this in the video yesterday, and some people probably aren't going to like me saying this, but Crimea historically was never part of Ukraine or Russia. It was an Islamic pirate kingdom. It was run by the Tartars. Their main industry was capturing Slavic slaves and exporting them to the Osmanli Turks or the Ottomans. And it's only very recently that Crimea came under the Russian sphere of influence. After Bela Kun, the short-lived communist dictator of Hungary, fled Hungary for the Soviet Union, they actually put him in charge of Crimea. And so he carried out the so-called Red Terror in Crimea, and there was a Crimean Tatar army that opposed the Bolsheviks. And so he promised them amnesty in exchange for surrendering. And then after they surrendered, he mass murdered like 60,000 people. And then later, Joseph Stalin mass deported them to less desirable places in the Soviet Union. And ethnic Russians were moved into Crimea. And after what America did in Yugoslavia with the bombing of Serbia and forcing Kosovo on Europe and then forcing Montenegro on Europe, America has absolutely no moral high ground whatsoever when it comes to Crimea. It's absurd to me that America would even try to pontificate about Crimea. So I don't think that Crimea becoming part of Russia is a serious issue. As an American who's looked at this historically, some people aren't going to like that. I said that, but now outside of Crimea, everything else gets progressively more complicated. Putin claiming that Ukraine is basically a concept invented by Joseph Stalin. Well, that's just pure gaslighting and hyperbole. So the Biden administration tells us that Russia's about to invade at any minute. They're going to take Kiev. They're going to occupy the whole country. I just don't see that happening. However, could uniformed Russian troops enter the People's Republics? Well, given that Biden just conceded that that doesn't constitute an invasion and it doesn't constitute the trigger of so-called major crippling sanctions, well, now it seems fairly likely that uniformed Russian troops, because there's no consequences. And so the question is, does Russia really want to invade Ukraine, a giant nation bigger than France, 44 million people? Do they want to invade them? Or do they want to keep flexing and see how much they can get away with and see how many more concessions they can get? All right, thanks for watching this video. Click the like button, post a comment below, tell me what you think about this, and click the subscribe button. New video every few days.